Thank y'all for coming. Gosh, it's a nice hot day, which means I'm already warm even before I do a warm up. So this will work. Okay, take water breaks when you need. And what do we got? Modifying the movements. Ooh, ah. And then adjust your clothes as needed. Oh, I'm tired today. Let's start on my back. The nice thing about being the instructor is I can start in any position. So instead of starting sitting today, we're going to start on our back and focus on our breathing in this position. All right, inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. So through pursed lips, inhale. Exhale. Try to breathe in as deeply as you can. And exhale as much air out of your lungs as you can. So basically really slowing down your breath. And then try to coordinate movement with your body, with your breathing. As you inhale, you're going to feel your rib cage expand. As you exhale, you're going to feel your abdominals flatten and sink down towards your spine. Again, inhale, the rib cage expands. Exhale, abdominals flatten down. We're not quite imprinted right now. There's still a small space under my lower back for my neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Let's take one more inhale and exhale in neutral. So this is practicing engaging the abs without imprinting. And now we're going to imprint. Inhale through the nose. Exhale as your abdominals draw in. You're going to go a little deeper so that your lower back makes contact with the mat. That is your imprint. Inhale, return to neutral. Feel your tailbone come to the floor. Exhale, imprint. Tailbone comes off the floor, the pelvis tilts back. Inhale. Exhale. So as you're breathing, there's this tiny little motion going on in your pelvis. It's a gentle rocking as your lower back touches the floor and then comes off the floor. Exhale, lower back touches the floor. Inhale, lower back comes off the floor. And now we're going to stay in imprints. So get the lower back in contact with the floor and keep it there as you lift the leg one at a time into tabletop position. Keep the imprint as one leg reaches towards the floor. So as my big toe taps the floor, I'm really going to try to hold on to the imprint. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. We're going to keep our knees bent at about 90 degrees. You should feel more work the closer and closer to the floor your toes gets. The other leg that isn't moving stays still. Thighs vertical, knees right over the hips. One more time on each side. We're just going to try to keep our neck area nice and relaxed. All right, let's try both legs. So legs are going to move down in a synchronized fashion, but they're still moving as individual units. Feet and legs are hip distance apart. If you want to stop partway down because you feel there's a lot of intensity, you can do that. You definitely want to stop the lowering of your legs if you feel your lower back leave the mat. So if you lose your imprint at any point during the lowering of your toes, then you're going to want to stop the lowering of your toes. All right? You're only going to go all the way to the floor as long as you can maintain that imprint. Your quads are probably getting a little fatigued, as are your hip flexors. Let's do one more. Exhale to lower. Reinforce that imprint. Inhale, lift. All right, pause here. Relax your quads. Just let your heels fall toward your butts and then place your feet on the ground. Good. So generally your feet will be in the more or less correct position for your shoulder bridge. Inhale. Bring your tailbone to the floor for the imprint. And then exhale, start to roll up one vertebra at a time by going through imprint. I lift my tailbone and I roll up into my shoulder bridge or my hip bridge. Sometimes it's called the hip bridge because we lift our hips. Sometimes it's called the shoulder bridge because our shoulders are the one thing that's still on the ground besides our feet. Roll it back down. Neutral. Inhale. Exhale. Roll on up. Press to the feet. Reach those knees away from the shoulders. Really feel length through the front of your body. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Slowly articulate your way back down. So articulating just means moving one vertebra at a time. Inhale. Exhale. Again, rolling up. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll back down. Do about 2 more and really try to coordinate your breath with this here. Good. And then 1 more at your own pace. You really want to move at your own pace, or, if in doubt, move slower. So we're all going to be finished with our butt on the ground, sort of back into our original position, right? This is how we started. We're going to do ab prep or ab crunch. Nod the chin, look and find your knees. And then exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades, reaching the fingertips toward the toes. Inhale, hold. Exhale, slowly lower the shoulder blades. And then head. Inhale, exhale. This is a movement of the abdominals. The abdominals shorten, contract to bring the rib cage toward the hips. However, we got to tuck our chin because it's not good to keep our eyes to the ceiling as we curl up our shoulders. All right, so for the safety of our neck, we want to look at the kneecaps as we use our abdominals to move the rib cage toward the hips. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower back down. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale and exhale. You can keep your feet on the ground if you like. I'm going to do a couple with my legs in tabletop. Here I'm going to squeeze my knees and feet together. Inhale, exhale, release. You can always keep your feet on the floor. Inhale. Eye gaze to the knees. And I'm going to try a few with my legs straight. So I'm really engaging my quads and feeling those hamstrings stretch. Exhale. You can flex your feet, get a little more into the calf, or point your toes. Same breathing pattern, same crunch pattern. The only thing that has changed is the leg position. Which brings us into hundreds. So we're going to crunch our way up and stay up and pump the arms. You can pick this leg position on the diagonal, knees bent, feet on the ground. All right, exhale, crunch it up. And we're going to start with an inhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale. Exhale, 20. Inhale. And exhale, 30. You never stop reaching with those fingertips. Exhale, 40. Inhale. You can change your leg position at any time during this hundreds. You don't have to pick one position and stay with it for the entire time. 60. Inhale. Exhale, 70. Try to keep those shoulder blades off the ground. 80. Inhale. Exhale. 90. Inhale. Getting to 100. Good. Hug the knees in. And then lower the head, neck, and shoulders. Good. I always try to pull my knees in instead of just letting my legs fall straight to the floor. So our first spine extension, I'm going to have assistance with the forearms. So gently pressing from fingertips to elbows. This gives me and my spine muscles a little bit of assistance as I lift the top part of the rib cage. For the safety of our neck, I'm going to have a slightly tucked chin, as if there's a raw egg underneath my chin. I don't want to crush the egg. I don't want to drop the egg. All right, I just want to cradle it gently underneath my chin. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. I'm going to do a couple more with my forearms. And then I'm going to take my arms away, but feel free to keep your arms where they are. I'm keeping the tops of the feet on the mats here. I'm going to add a little bit of a fingertip reach toward my toes, which might give me another ½ inch of lift maybe. Not to mention maybe a little more lengthening or widening of the collarbone, squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other. Good. Again, still keeping the tops of the feet on the mat. I'm really focusing on the muscles around the spine and not the muscles in the glutes right now. Stay one more here. And now you can take your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up and round the spine. Just sit back onto your heels and stretch. Then I'm going to come into a plank on my wrists. I'm going to be moving my legs underneath my body, so that's why I'm on my wrists. If you are doing it on your elbows, you can hold the plank nice and still, and don't worry so much about moving the legs. When setting up the plank, you want the wrists underneath the shoulders, eye gaze on the floor between the thumbs, and then you're going to reach a heel back and then the other. Now it's okay if your butt's a little high, as long as you feel work in the abs, okay? A lot of times if your butt's too high, you won't feel the work in your abs anymore, and that's the main reason we want to lower it so it's just in line with the shoulders, knees, and ankles. If you can imagine a straight line drawn through the ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles, that is your ideal plank. Now I'm going to take my front leg's toe, I'm going to point it, and I'm going to drag it forward. There's a lot of friction. At the same time, I'm not moving my butt or anything. I'm going to lift my toe off the ground, reach the heel back, and then place it on the ground. Take my back leg, my other leg, point the toe, drag it forward, lightly on the ground. I haven't changed anything about my plank position. Pull the leg off the ground, flex the foot like I'm kicking something with my heel, and place the foot down again. All right, let's do it with the first leg again. Drag. Eye gaze on the floor. Between your thumbs, lift the foot. Push back with the heel. Feel the strong activation of your glutes and your quads. And then last time here, toe drag, leg lift, press back with the heel and lower. All right, come to your knees, shake the wrists out, shake the arms out. Planks work almost all the muscles of the body. It is not easy. All right, so we are sitting. Whew. And we're gonna do our half roll back. We're gonna do some endurance today. So as I exhale, C curve back, drawing the abs in. I am going to feel my abs here, halfway down. And as I come up, I'm going to feel it less. Here you can either keep the C curve like this or straighten up. So exhale, feel the work increase. Toes anchored to the mats. Here, yeah, good. And inhale. Exhale. Draw those abs in. Shoulders stay relaxed from the ears. Inhale. I don't want to do too many of these because I want to get to the endurance parts. The endurance part is when we stay back. Okay, this is the last time we're going to sit up for a little while. So we're going to come back. You're going to feel tension. And we're going to exhale to increase the tension. So I want you to inhale here. Less tension. Exhale. More tension. Reach one arm up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the other one. So we're using our exhale when there's increased work because we've changed the position of the arms. I'm bringing my arms right by my ears and maintaining the C curve position. So endurance. I'm going to do both arms this time. Exhale, reach. Inhale. I'm trying not to change any part of my body. I'm only changing my arm position. 2 more here. You can do one right and one left. Inhale. Exhale. Now I just sit up and take a break for a moment. Whew. I'm going to do one more, and this time the arm variation will be to the side, like we're doing a chest fly. Inhale here, exhale. Now inhale here again, and then exhale, open up the arms. Inhale, hug a tree. Exhale, open up those arms. Inhale. It's like you're encircling your arms around a round object. Around a round object. I'm not mean to say something so confusing. So you're going to exhale here because this is the more challenging part. Inhale, a little bit easier. And last time. Go ahead and sit all the way up. And then roll all the way down. Okay, let's relax for a moment here. Just a moment. We're not staying in this position long. So go ahead and flex your feet, anchor your heels to the mat, activate those quadriceps for the full roll up. With the biceps by the ears, you're going to start with an inhale. Keep reaching. Reach with the fingertips. It's going to pull your head up, your shoulder blades, and then use your abs and the reach to keep pulling the rest of your body up. Now, if you get stuck on the way up, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you a little trick here. It's okay if you need a little momentum to get up. The important thing is that you get up so you can roll your way back down and practice articulation, resisting gravity, the negative phase. So if you got stuck a little bit on the way up, you can bend your knees like this. Inhale, reach the arms, nod the chin, just like before. As you start to roll up, kick your heels out. Just kick. And that little bit of straining the legs should help give a little bit of a boost to roll up. Now on the way down, I'm going to roll down super slowly with abdominal control, just like you felt when you're doing the half roll back. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. This isn't just an abdominal exercise, it's also a hamstring low back stretch. So dive, grab whatever you can grab. Take the time to stretch before you use your abs to roll back down. Let's do 1 more here. Exhale there, use your breath. Good. Okay. And then this is the time where you just gotta adjust your pants a little bit. Okay, we're gonna move into our single leg stretch. I'm gonna go nice and slow here. I know I always talk about moving slowly in Pilates, but we're really gonna emphasize the slowness here. You can kick any diagonal you like. In fact, we're gonna really talk about angles today as well. If you want the head, neck, and shoulders lifted, you can, or you can keep it down. Inhale, switch. Exhale, reach. This is called single leg stretch because we stretch a single leg out away from the head or away from your torso. If your foot's cramping, you can stretch and reach the heel out. Regardless, your leg becomes straight, whether your foot is actively flexed or actively pointed. Good. Remain imprinted in the abs. Hopefully your head and neck, or your neck I should say, is not getting too fatigued or strained. But right about now, we're going to take the hands behind the head. Now you're supporting the neck, and we're going to add that rotation, bicycle. Try to maintain the slow, steady pace. Inhale through mid, line, exhale, rotate. Inhale to transition, exhale, rotate. I'm really paying attention to keeping both shoulder blades off the ground. I can feel that both are off the ground. I can also feel that one is a little higher than the other. Good, 2 more. And we're going to do single leg stretch a little differently today. So just for a moment, let's put our head down. All right, we're going to talk about angles. We're going to go from 90 to 20 and then back up. And when I say 90 to 20, I mean, you can pick any angle you like. I'm going to do this, but you can stop at like 40 and then go back up, okay? So 90 degrees, tabletop, 90-degree bend in the knees. And then from here, we're imprinted, exhale. I straighten it to 90 degrees or as close to vertical as I can. I'm going to inhale to bend. I'm going to exhale, straighten to 80 degrees. I mean, this is a rough estimate of 10 degrees less than 90. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, I'm going to extend to 70. Inhale. Exhale to 60. I realize that I might not be super accurate. And there's 50. But that's not the exact point of the exercise. The exact point of the exercise is that we're slowly increasing the intensity felt in our abs. It is harder and harder to maintain imprint the lower and lower your legs get. So that was 40 or 30. All right, let's say this is 30. And then the lowest I'll go is probably 20 because I feel like I'm going to lose my imprint if I go too low. Good. And then we're going to make our way back up. Now, if you want to lift your head, neck, and shoulders, you can too. So we'd be like this. I'm going to go up to 20. Exhale. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to 30. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to 40. Exhale to 50. Again, rough estimate. It's getting easier and easier as my leg angle goes higher and higher. Always squeezing my quadriceps though. There's 70. I would have failed geometry, 80 and 90. All right. So that is just a variation of double leg stretch. And then we're going to do a variation of scissors. So go ahead and straighten one leg. And then, so straighten one leg vertically and one leg probably around 20 degrees. It's hovering just off the floor. I feel a nice stretch right here. And the variation of this scissor is that it's super, super, super duper slow. All right, so as I'm holding my leg, there's some abdominal work, my head, neck, and shoulders lifted. And now I'm going to let my leg go. And I'm going to slowly scissor it. And there's going to be a lot of work in the abs here as my legs transition. And then I might get a break once I grab onto my leg because my arm gives my abs some supports. Okay? Again, super slow. I'm going to let my legs go. I'm going to do the slow motion scissor. Don't be afraid to take extra breaths. Breathe as needed. And now we're here. So I'm going to take a couple extra breaths here because this is just too slow a movement to really breathe one per movement. I want you to emphasize the stretch. Let's let go. Maybe you're exhaling here. Maybe you're inhaling now. And then maybe you're exhaling here. All right, so I'm grabbing my second leg for the second time. So we're going to do 2 more slow switches. So let it go. Slowly scissor. Grab your leg when you need to. Remember, there's a little bit of assistance for your abs when you grab your legs. Let the leg go. You immediately feel more work in the abs. And then we are here, and now we are done. So we can give our abs a break by flipping over onto the stomach. All right, how are we doing so far? We're going to add some resistance to our spine muscles. So our spine muscles are going to lift the weights of our arms, just like this. So if you stack your hands, place your forehead on those stacked hands. And then as you inhale, you're going to lift the chest and arms at the same time. All as one unit. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Don't worry too much about how high you lift. The moment your arms and chest come off the ground, you should feel your spine muscles kick in. Good. So kind of on these next two that you do, try to pay attention to how high your head is lifting. So as you lift up, using your vision, your eye gaze, see what you're looking at on the mat, how high you're going. And now for this next one, I want you to keep your hands on the ground, but lift the head, neck, and chest to where you think the height was that you were going. And then from there, float the arms off the ground to meet your forehead. And this now should be the perfect height, or the height you were hitting before. And lower everything at once. Just the head and upper part of the chest. And now exhale, the arms come up. And then the remaining part of that exhale, lower everything. Inhale, head and chest. Exhale, you're going to feel your spine muscles kick in as the arms come off the ground. And then the last little bit of exhale, relax into everything. So this is a staggered spine extension. And the staggered part is that the arms come up later. So the head, neck, chest. So don't try to go too high, and definitely don't look up, because if you look up, your arms aren't going to get to your forehead, right? So you have to bring my forehead now down to meet my hands. So you'll instantly know that your head was in the wrong position if you have to bring your head down to meet your hands. All right, let's do one more here. Let the arms float up. I say float because you just want it to really gently and in control come up. It's not a quick pull of the arms, slamming it into your forehead. We don't want to do that. Okay, so let's quickly stretch here. Then I'm going to do some sidelining stuff. Okay. So pick a side, any side. We're going to do some of the sidelining stuff, not everything. So the first thing you want to do is get your body straight. This does not look straight, I know. So straighten your entire body using the edge of your yoga mat. So you can either scoot all the way to the front so you know like everything is right against that edge, or you can kind of just check visually that you're about parallel to the edge. So we're going to start with sort of the warm-up of sideline leg raises. So the outer thigh is working here. Push those hips down. So the hip pushes down that way so it's not hiking. See how my hand moves? It's because my hand is stuck to my hip bone and I'm hiking my hip on purpose. So we're trying not to hike. We want it down as we lift the leg. Inhale, exhale. If you want a little more choreography, you can inhale, point, lift, exhale, flex, lower. So just getting range of motion in our ankles. Good. If you really squeeze the quadriceps, really focus on keeping the leg straight and tight, and I'm talking about the top leg here. Also stabilize and keep the abdominals tight. You're going to feel fatigue of the outer thigh muscle. You also want to make sure you're not going too high, right? Because again, back to that hip hike. If I lift too high, my hip will hike. And the whole idea of this segment is to move your leg within the range of your hip socket. So how much can you move your leg without making the hip hike? All right, let's hold the leg at parallel here. and make small little circles, like very small, size of a golf ball. 2 more here. Inhale, a circle. Exhale, a circle. Reverse for 6. Inhale. Complete 1 entire small circle. Exhale. So I'm going the other direction now. Inhale. Exhale. The whole time I'm keeping my kneecaps and toes facing forward, including my pinky toe. If I'm not in neutral position, you can't see my pinky toe anymore, right? Also, my kneecaps face the ceiling. So try to direct the knee and the toenails all towards the front, your front, whatever you're facing. Okay. I don't want to get your leg too tired before we do some of the clamshell stuff. We're going to do one more exercise. Get the leg up to hip height. And you're going to do a single leg bicycle. So hamstring curl here. This is an exaggerated bike riding. Nobody actually rides bikes like this, I don't think. Well, imagine like you're pushing down the pedal and it's circling behind you. So you do a hamstring curl and then it circles up, right? That pedal, it makes it circle and then you can kick it forward, push it down. So think of riding a bike with just your top leg in the forward direction. And you can choose how big you want to make the circle. Definitely, you need your kickstand hand. And what's challenging here is that your leg is always at parallel, right? It's not getting closer to the floor. So there's a lot of that outer thigh endurance here. You can just keep alternating the breath. Inhale and exhale. All right, last circle here. I want you to place the top leg on the bottom leg. Pull your knees forward like it's coming to the front edge of the mats, and your feet will come straight up and it should still stay in line with the rest of your body. So ears, shoulders, hips, and feet. Knees are roughly about 90 degrees, but you might want to straighten a little bit or bend a little bit depending on how your hips are in terms of range of motion. When you're doing the clamshell, you're going to keep the feet together. It's external rotation. Kneecaps face forward, kneecap faces on the angle. Okay? And again, everyone's a little different. Sometimes you might find you have more range of motion if your knees are bent more, or more range of motion when your legs are bent less. So kind of should be roughly 90 degrees. When I do this, I know I'm propping myself up. See a little bit better. You don't want to like lean back. Pretend like your butt, there's a wall right behind your butt. So you don't want to go through the wall. Just lift the knee without leaning back. Okay? Okay. Here's what I want you to sort of have the energy to do. That's why I didn't want to get too tired in this. I'm going to have you lift the feet. Okay, that's the first step. And then I'm going to have you flex the feet. I know, don't we look awkward? We look like a frog that's about to like do something. Okay, and here's the thing. We're going to do clamshell extension. I know you got to find your heels again. Knees together, knees apart. Keep your knee wherever it is in space. Straighten the legs, feel the quads engage, bend the knee, feel the heels come back together again. Bottom foot stays off the ground. Well, so does the top. Good. Close, open, kick, return. Close, open, kick, return. How are we doing? Take your time with this. Hopefully you feel your outer thigh, your external rotators, and of course a little bit of quads and hip flexors as we straighten the leg. Keep alternating the breath here. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Or you can do the reverse of that. Anything works right now. Because our abs are mostly just stabilizing, so it's just about the legs. One more here. Okay. And that's it. That wasn't too bad, was it? I'm going to start with the familiar stuff. Then we do some less familiar things. So now we're on our other side. Same thing. Body straight, parallel to the edge. Kickstand hand, abdominals stabilizing. Let me see your kneecaps and toes reaching towards the front. Not everyone is facing their device. I get it. Well, but anyways, whatever direction you're facing, that's the direction your kneecaps should be. Good. Try to really prevent our hip from moving. If you don't need your kickstand hand, you can take it off the floor. Requires a little bit more abdominal balance. And then you can put your hands on your hips. And then, you know, hopefully you can feel when your hips hike or not. Sometimes it's kind of tricky. Oh, there I go. Oops. Almost fell on my back, on my butt. I guess I do need the kickstand hand. So it's not enough just to point and flex the foot. You really want to squeeze the quadricep, get your leg as lengthened and strengthened. Lengthen and strengthen. Get your legs long and strong. Hey, never thought about that. Lengthen, strengthen, long and strong. Okay, let's do some circles. Small, inhale. Exhale, 6 in each direction. Don't worry if it's not a perfect circle, that's not what it's about. It's kind of a pulsing motion. That's the idea behind these really small, slow circles. Reverse direction. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Right, so hopefully your leg is feeling pretty fatigued. You can take a rest for a moment and then lift it back up. And we're gonna ride our bike. So I'm gonna need more than a few fingers for this because the leg goes forward. You're gonna feel your abdominals work a little bit more when your leg goes in front of you and behind you. And what's the thing you want to remember here? Is that the leg is staying at parallel to the floor. So staying at hip height, the top hip, same hip as the moving leg. So you got 4 more cycles or circles. Really slow. See, when I start to feel my leg go really far behind me, I can feel my body wanting to fall back and I feel my abs sort of tighten a little bit to prevent that from happening. But that's also when I start to pull my knee, my toes in or my heel in. Because you don't want to keep reaching back if you feel like you're going to fall back. Okay, so we're done here with the straight leg portion. Go ahead and pull your knees forward. And again, we want to try to maintain this sort of straight line through ears, shoulders, hips, and then feet. And then from there, so whether your knees are more bent or less bent than 90, your feet should still be in the same line as the rest of your body. This is basic clamshell. Open and close, just like clamshells. Although once a clamshell is open, I'm pretty sure it never closes again. And sometimes when you cook clams, they just don't open. And if they don't, you really should throw it away. In case anyone needed a clam cooking tip. All right, so now the challenge. First, you're going to lift your feet, and then you're going to open up your knees, and this is to show you that my feet are flexed and my heels are together. And then the last thing you do is straighten your leg. So you can see kind of where my knees are in space, and I just straighten my leg. So what you don't want to do is like move your whole leg. See what happened there? I just moved my whole leg. I mean, it's not wrong, it's just a different exercise. So here's our starting point. Close the knees, open the knees, straighten the leg, and then rebend. And when you rebend, the heels should come together. It's okay if your knee moves a little bit and you have to kind of search for your heels, not to worry. And again, keep alternating the breath. Find what you naturally want to do as you straighten the leg, perhaps, and then alternate from there. Or find what you naturally want to do, whether it's exhale or inhale during whatever movements you feel is most challenging. We generally exhale when it's the most challenging, but sometimes people want to inhale. And that's okay. It's getting harder and harder to hold this leg position in the same position in space. I just really want to drop my feet. But we're going to do that after 2 more, and then we will drop the feet. Last one. Okay. Whew. All right, let's just do a quick stretch here. All right, this is a stretch for the glutes, outer thighs, ankle over the opposite knee. If you don't really feel anything, you can pull the hamstring, pull the legs toward your chest. And that should feel more stretch here. And maybe you feel the stretch like this. And if you do, then hold it right here. And if you don't, then you want to pull everything in. So from here, I'm actually going to do a rollover. But before I do the rollover, I'm going to show you the prep. So that's, if you don't want to do the rollover, you don't have to do the rollover. The rollover specifically focuses on lifting from the tailbone side. So this is lifting from the head, neck, and shoulder side. And then this is lifting from the tailbone side. So this is the prep, okay? So you can either use a little bit of momentum, bend your knees, and kick your legs up to the ceiling. Engages your abs just to pull your tailbone, pelvis, and your lower back off the floor. And use your hands. Okay, so this is option 1, the pullover prep. And if you want to do the entire rollover, you're going to shoot your feet to parallel over your face, like this. This is parallel. You don't need to touch the floor to the on the other side of your head. And then from here, roll down with control. You don't have to breathe like that. Okay, so let me show you the options again. Here, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, or exhale, inhale for a breath, and then exhale, slowly unravel. Slowly articulate 1 vertebra at a time. 1 vertebra at a time, all the way down to your tailbone hits the ground again. Okay? You can bend your knees a little bit to give a little momentum. Exhale. So there might be momentum getting into this position. That's okay, because really the challenge is here, the lowering phase. The end goal is to roll over just as slowly. Inhale here, exhale. See, that's a much slower rollover. I can definitely feel my abs a little bit more. And I will tell you right now that sometimes I end up feeling more abs doing the rollover prep. So I know it's called a rollover prep as if it's a easier version than the rollover, but I actually really consider the 2 exercises somewhat different. They're both pelvis raising exercises, but I really feel they're quite different in terms of emphasis. So don't feel like one is better than the other. Sometimes you work more doing one compared to the other, and it depends on you. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more full rollovers, and feel free to keep doing rollover preps. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale and exhale. So what I will say about this roll down here, or roll over, is you don't want to let your legs collapse on your face. So if I'm here, you don't want this to happen, right? That's me allowing my knees and legs to collapse on my face. And then when I roll down like that, I don't feel my abs. So you really have to maintain this structure here. Strength through the legs, through the hips. Maintaining this sort of hip angle, if you will. All right, good. Let's flip over. That was a lot of abs. Oof. Well done, well done. We're almost there, almost done. So if you get to your hands and knees, we'll just end with a little bit of spine work here. And extend the front leg to parallel, and we're going to pulse it like this. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And if you feel more stable with both arms down and the knee during your pulses, then keep both arms down. If you think you're going to do well, or you want to try this spinal balance with the opposite arm, opposite leg up, and then pulse, you can lift the arm. All right, let's pulse for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5. Small range of motion. 4, 3, abs tight, 2, and 1. Switch. So you don't want to pulse so big that your whole spine is moving. All right, you're pulsing around parallel. Leg first, then the arms. Eye gaze on the floor between your thumbs. Pulse for 8. Abs tight. 7, 6. Spine lengthen and in neutral. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I had to think about the last number I just said because I don't often listen to myself. All right, let's try the first side again. Sometimes it's just easier the second time you do it. All right, it's not about going super high. It's about staying in one parallel line. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, this is good for the spine and posture. Remember to keep your head and neck aligned with the rest of your spine. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, sit back for a moment, shake out these wrists. Let's do a little bit of push-ups, and then we'll wind it down. So going back to the hands underneath the shoulders, the first leg, the front leg, it's gonna be nice and straight. Flex the foot if you like. Really squeeze your glutes and abs as if you're in a plank. These are the same muscles that are engaged when you do a plank. Bend your elbows and tilt your entire body. Straight line from ear through shoulders, hips, knees, ankle of that one leg, and then you're back up. Let's do 2 more here. Elbows tight next to the rib cage. Last one. Inhale down, exhale up. And by the way, feel free to, I should have said this earlier, but feel free to roll up your yoga mat extra times to put under the knee if you need it. All right, single leg push up. Inhale, down, exhale, up. You should feel your triceps here. Inhale, lower. Notice my head is reaching a little bit ahead of my fingertips. So I'm not back here. I'm up here. All right, good. Shake out those wrists. Well done, everyone. Let's do a quick stretch here. You can open up both legs or you can keep one tucked in. You're gonna just stretch by rotating, bringing the opposite arm across the body, grabbing whatever you can grab, whether it's your ankle, your calves, or your toes, whatever it is you grab, and then bend the elbow. Gently pull your chest down a little bit more.
Breathe. And take it to the other side, opposite hand. We're generally stretching and strengthening in Pilates throughout the class, so we don't do too much additional stretching at the end. But I know hamstrings are always one of the tightest things on our body, so you want to make sure that you get that muscle stretched. All right, thank you all so much for coming to Pilates. I hope you learned something about your body. You feel stronger, you feel more flexible. Hope any aches and pains you had are gone. All right.